It is super bright. Where's the sun coming from? Why is it hitting my eyes? So today I'm going to be doing a tag, and this tag is called the Personal Book Taste Tag. It was originally created by Nikki Lives Now, and I was tagged by Anna Renee Burton. You should really check both Anna and Nikki out because they are great booktubers. So I will leave their links down below. This is a particularly interesting tag video because it only consists of 4 questions, and the questions are very, very broad, so you can answer it however which way you want to. That's so much freedom for a tag video. So let's get started. So the first question is, show books that represent your book tastes and explain how these books have shaped your book tastes. Well, of course I'm going to have to bring up my homegirl Jumpo Lahiri and her book of short stories called The Interpreter of Maladies. So I love short stories. I love them a lot. When I first read like young adult books, I was like, I could do that. I could write young adult books. And then when I read short stories, I was like, I could really do this. I could really make a career out of this. The first complete work I've ever written was actually a short story. They molded who I am as a writer and also as a reader. I don't have Looking for Alaska, so The Fault in Our Stars is just going to have to take its place. But yeah, Looking for Alaska was total game changer in what I wanted to write and focus on as a writer. I didn't even know that YA contemporary existed until I read John Green, and I was like, whoa. This genre is like everything I wanted, and now I love young adult contemporary. It is my second favorite genre. I really like diverse young adult contemporary reads, mostly because I wish that I had found them around the time I was an adolescent myself, and it just would have been just a great time. And I just read this recently, and it is among my favorite books. And I know Alan Janae doesn't like this book as much as I do, but that doesn't affect how much I love this piece of work. I love you. And once again, I didn't know that this sort of subgenre of literary fiction existed where diverse writers can write this awesomeness that doesn't really confine to literary fiction constructs. Also, I wanted to add some of my favorite nonfiction writing books, and this one is Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. The first nonfiction book that I had ever gotten was in high school, and I asked my dad to go out to the bookstore to get it for me because A, I couldn't drive, and B, Amazon wasn't really a big book thing back in the day, I guess. It was a book called How to Write a Damn Good Novel by... I still don't know the name of that guy. And that was a point where I was just like, I want to be a novelist. So the second question is, show books that you liked a lot but is usually not your cup of tea. And I would have to say a lot of romance books that I adore, including, and not limited to, Jane Austen books, Jane Eyre, Shakespeare comedies. I usually do not like romance all that much, but dude, there are some things I cannot live without, and Pride and Prejudice is one of those things. So I'm going to do a face-off between The Hunger Games and Battle Royale, and I don't have The Hunger Games right now, so you're just gonna have to look at my hand. So both of these novels about children killing each other are kind of a controversy because a lot of people are all like, Hunger Games copied Battle Royale, it shouldn't be as popular as it is because it's not an original story. Well, I hate to break it to you because there really is no such thing as an original story, and if you did think that, you are delusional, my friend. So yes, both of these novels have to do with teenagers put into an environment or a little rink, and it's a game rigged in order for them to kill each other on television. But I wanted to point out a really big difference between those two books. This book has a lot to do with society, but it is more of an alternate universe. If Japan during World War II era did not lose and became its fascist government that it was supposed to be. And so I would say this book is more about inner turmoil than it is about societal pressures and constructs, because this book goes into different perspectives of all the people inside of this death rink, and it shows how the people were before they were put into the rink, and now that they are in the rink, how it sort of changes them and makes them more animalistic. While The Hunger Games is set in the way future, a future that we might see. It's more of a commentary on us and how we live and how we should change the way we're living. So the messages of those two books are totally different, so I don't understand why people keep saying that they're ripping off each other. just talk about this all day, really. Also, the story about kids killing each other is not original. It comes from a mythology about the labyrinth and like Minos in the middle of the labyrinth. All those killing each other stories came from that original story, so stop it. And then the fourth question is, show books of a genre that you would like to get into, and I have those books. Gregor the Overlander, which I was reading a little bit of, but I need to finish this book. I also have this kind of laughable cover of Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. What is this cover? Who would do this? This is a crime. So yes, I would really love to get more into fantasy and science fiction. Like, please. Anyways, so that is the tag, and I thought it was super interesting. I'm gonna tag a few people, actually. I think I'm going to tag Rincey Reads. I'm going to tag Enchantology because I want to see her do more videos, and I want to pressure her into doing it. I'm a good friend. Let's tag Scott's Place. Those 3 people. Do it. If you want to watch yesterday's video, what did I do? Oh, I did a discussion video on what it means to be well-read. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click on the end screen. With that note, I will see you tomorrow in another video. Bye! Did I really say Rumination Station? Yes, I did.